Okay, hey YouTubers. So today is day 3 of, I'm trying to get to my website at the same time. Today is day 3 of Kwanzaa, and the principle for today is Ujima. And Ujima is collective work and responsibility. And the principle or the meaning behind the principle for Ujima is to better your community. Um, if we're not responsible for our communities, then no one else will be. And we certainly can't hold those who don't live in our community accountable for what goes on in our community. So, get out and take a look around of the community that you live in. Take note of what's going on. Are there services to help homeless? Are there services to help children who, may be in need or may be wrapped up in gang violence or whatever have you? Are there places in your community where you can donate clothes? Are there places in your communities where someone can go um, and take refuge from domestic violence? We need to be aware of what's going on in our community. We need to meet the people. We need to know what's going on. It used to be, I remember now, back in Detroit, I grew up in one house and as a kid, and we knew everybody on the block. We knew everybody in our neighborhood, in our immediate neighborhood, 4 to 5 blocks over on each side of our street, 4 to 5 blocks up on either side of our street. We knew those people. We knew the kids, we knew some of the adults. And, we got together and just did, what we did in our community, every morning. Everybody in our neighborhood got out and we played kickball or jump rope or whatever have you, but we were aware of what was really going on in our community. And we didn't have a community of, crime or, thievery and murders and things like that. It's all gone downhill now. But it wasn't like that when I was growing up. And sometimes I say that I kind of lived in a bubble because in the 80s, when crack cocaine hit the scene, um, so many people fell victim to that, either by using or by selling. But our community pretty much was like, in the bubble where, it was definitely going on, obviously. But, we were kind of sheltered from that. So, collective work, get out in your community, make a difference. Another thing that I've done in the past as far as community work was when I was an Order of the Eastern Star, a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. And contrary to all the trolls, and Christian folk who want to say that I was a part of this secret society that is all damned to hell and, when we're taking over the world, wrong. I did tons of community work with this organization. I think one of the best things that we did for our community around our Grand Lodge was my chapter hosted a back to school festival every year. And we had this huge parking lot. So we would have the big inflatable things in the parking lot. We had a couple of those. We had carnival games. There was a fire department around the corner. We had the fire department bring the fire truck there for a while, and the kids got to go on the fire truck. We had cotton candy. We had hot dogs. We had haircuts inside the in the lodge in our hall area. We had free haircuts for the kids. We gave away free school supplies. We gave away backpacks. We raffled off backpacks full of stuff. We gave away other free stuff. And this was all free. It was all completely free for the children in the community because the community needed that kind of stuff. And another outreach we did was We did a lot of things for the children in that area. We also, which is one that I spearheaded, hosted a scholarship fund, a book scholarship fund for the seniors going out into college that next year, for the local high school that was right behind our lodge. And we chose 5 seniors every year and gave them a book scholarship to put toward the purchase of books for them to go to college. And that was one of the ones that I actually headed up. And I looked to start a mentoring program. However, I didn't get much participation from the children. So, but you know, you have to be the difference in your community. I've been looking for ways to get involved in this community here. It's a little hard because it's a small country town. But I've checked into Haven House, which is a shelter for women here, women and children here. I even called like the senior center, and they were just like, we don't need no help, I guess. I don't know. I'll figure out something. Trust me, I'll figure out something if it comes down to just me going to my son's school or there's 2 schools right across the street. I'll go to those schools and volunteer some way in those schools. But be the doer. Be the doer. And I guess I could talk about Kenji in this video too, because he's a doer. And I know so many doers. Another doer that I watch here on YouTube is Spark Wisdom. She's a doer. She has a nonprofit foundation to help women become financially free, and that's impacting your community. That is the definition of impacting your community. So I'm on that same track too. I just have to get out there and get the wheels grinding and get them turning. But I'm definitely on that track too. So with that said, today is Ujima again, celebrating Kwanzaa, the Kwanzaa festival, 7 days. We got 4 days left. And this one we will be lighting the candle on the left. Let me make sure. So yeah, so what happens on this day, you light the candle in the middle, the black candle, and you're going to light the red one, the farthest one on the end, and you're going to light the green one on the other end. So there's 3 candles lit today. And so I see the pattern now, because yesterday was Kuji Chagalia, and I said you light the black candle, or you light the black candle and the red candle. So every day you're adding a candle to that's lit on the Kenora until you get to all 7 candles. So I see how it goes now. So I'm learning. This is my first time even really getting in depth with Kwanzaa. I'm not celebrating Kwanzaa, and who knows, I may even just partake in the celebration of the festival next year. So with that said, I'm going to end this video, and I want you all to all meditate on Ujima, collective work and responsibility, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.